Okay. So Wuthering Waves is getting an animated series. Got my WuWa shirt on. Took me about a month to get it because it was sold out on the first day it opened. But anyways, that's crazy. What an unexpected news. Okay, Wuthering Waves, Elysium, animated series reveal. That's crazy, guys. One word is familiar, and Elysium, it originates from Greek mythology, and I think it refers to like a place or like a paradise that either heroes or people that have lived like a virtuous life, like after they die, it's a paradise they go to. So I don't know what that has to do with this anime series, but if I had to guess, maybe it's like an after story, a story that starts after WuWa's story finishes. But let's see what happens. Kuro on road. Okay, that's not... The water is... What is going on? A lot of feet. Who's this lady? Ooh, look at the background. This lady, who is this lady? She's pretty. Wow, holy moly. Partethia? Sin? Imith? Yang Yang, okay. And Jinsi. Wow. Wow, okay, so we're getting 5 characters story. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm guessing if my theory is correct, since it's called WuWa Elysium, maybe it's the story of these 5 characters after, everything is finished and done. Kuro on road. Okay, maybe this is their in-house studio who is going to do the animation. And I like the fact that they went and chose to do this animation in 3D because obviously Kuro's strength is 3D rendering, and they animate scenes to like another level. Its quality is just ridiculous, right? And yeah, I like that. I like the decision to just carry on with that, with their strength, and to do the animation on 3D. They could have done what other companies do, which is outsource the animation and do it on 2D, and that has a lot of problems. If you like 2D animation, good for you, but the problem of making 2D animation as a game company, in most of the times you don't have an in-house studio that is capable of creating an anime or 2D anime for obvious reasons, because in most games you don't utilize a lot of 2D animation cutscenes that often. Like, you don't use it often enough to hire the people, like hire experts and technicians, the illustrators, and everyone that all the staff that you need. You can't hire like all these people just to make like 2-3 minutes of anime cutscenes for like every 3-4 weeks, right? And so a lot of companies choose to outsource, and the problem with that is when you outsource, you not only have to pay a lot of money to do that, but quality control is quite difficult because you're not exactly communicating like as if you were in your own company. Like, it's an outsourced company, they're outside, they're external, so even if you try to communicate with them as much as possible, it's completely different to just walking over a couple blocks to the anime department and just checking on them if everything is okay, and talking over like all these different scenes that they're creating, and checking out the quality. You can't do that. You can't really get that personal, or you can't really get that type of connection since it's a different company. It's a company outside your own company. So there's always this problem with keeping quality in check, and then the process of how all that works is like the outsourced company would create let's say, for example, like 2-3 minutes of a scene, which in total would end up being like a 23-minute video. But just to ask for feedback from your company, they would create like a couple minutes of scenes, and they would be like, we're trying to do this, and I just want you guys to check if this is what you guys want. And you're only getting like small footages, right? Even when you get those footages, it takes a long time, and they've already invested so much time in making those like few minutes of the cutscene or animation that there's like not a lot of room for you to give feedback, because you're running on a tight schedule in most cases. Yeah, so there's a lot of constraints when it comes to working with an outsourced company and trying to create an anime like in the way that you envision. But Kuro Games, it seems like they have their own in-house company, I think, Kuro on Road. So that's good news, because you don't need to worry about quality. And so all these characters, I feel like there's one common thing with these characters, which is that they're not just regular resonators, but they're kind of special resonators, right? So Sin obviously is a sentinel. We have Jinsi, sentinel resonator, Yang Yang, the votary of the voice, I think it was, and we have Exo Strider resonator, and then lastly we have Thernodian resonator. So all of these characters are like not exactly your typical normal resonators, and I wonder what that has to do with everything. But one thing that I can say is that I feel like their story, the events that took in their arc, if it had not happened, I think Solaris wouldn't be the same. Like, we wouldn't have this current Solaris. All of the events that took place in their story arc were so important in not only, WuWa's story development, but in the existence of Solaris itself. Now, we don't know much about Sin, so, excluding her, I can definitely say, like, for example, if Jinsi did not resonate with Jue, who knows what would have happened to Jinzhou? And same with Imith. If she didn't go through her plans and if it didn't work, then we wouldn't have Lahai Roy. The same thing with Renacida and Cartethia here. And Yang Yang, we don't know a lot up so far, but from the last story, we know for sure that she'll play a very important role in the universe of WuWa for sure. So I'm guessing like they're definitely characters that like they played a very special role in WuWa's story in general. So, what type of paradise or what type of, vacation or what story awaits us? I am looking forward to it. Oh man, I don't think they revealed like a date when they will release this story, but I hope it's not too long. I hope we don't have to wait too long. But damn, I am excited. All right, guys, hope you guys have a good day.